Old Grumpy Hunter here. This is the first in a series of videos on the Death by Bunjie and Old Grumpy Hunter joint calculator project. All of our calculators have default values set in them, and they will auto-calculate when they're first opened. These default values are based on our 5 different crossbows. All of our calculators have an About This Calculator section, where some information about the calculator, the history of the calculator, and some of them have some instructions in it. Below this About Calculator section is the menu, and the menu will open any of the other calculators. In this video, I plan on talking about kinetic energy and momentum, crossbow efficiency, and the arrow FOC calculator. Our kinetic energy and momentum calculator works just like all the others online. The big feature is you do not have to refresh the page when you change the value. Furthermore, it doesn't matter which value you enter first as long as they're in the correct boxes. You may have noticed that below the input areas are ranges.
110 to 800 FPS and 50 to 1000 grains.
I needed to set boundaries for the input areas on this calculator as well as all our other calculators. I really don't have a reason for picking 10 other than 0 would not work. Remember, 0 times anything is still 0. 800 feet per second? Well, crossbows have already crossed the 500 foot per second mark, and they're going to keep climbing. I'm hoping that 800 feet per second will give me some time off from changes. As for 50 to 1000 grain arrow, well, I know nobody's shooting a 50 grain arrow, at least not on a regular basis out of a modern crossbow, and I don't think anybody's shooting a 1000 grain arrow. But heck, you never know. There are some really heavy arrow people out there. And again, those ranges keeps me from having to make changes for a while. One thing you'll notice on our calculators is if you enter a value outside of the range, you're going to get an error message, and then that field will revert to the default value. As I said, this calculator is straightforward and is not complicated to use. Enter your speed and weight of your arrow, click the Calculate and P button, and your results will appear. Below the results area in this particular calculator is some pictures with different ranges next to them. These values are found all over online, and these are suggested values of kinetic energy to kill different animals. In this short video clip, I'm entering this year's values for Parker. 350 feet per second, which is real close to what it is, and 447.4 grains, and that is actual arrow weight. A crossbow efficiency calculator is based off the calculator that Death by Bunjie did after he had an interview with Daryl Cummings. You can see the video of that on the Death by Bunjie YouTube channel. The purpose of this calculator is to calculate how much of the bow's stored energy is being delivered to the arrow, or bolt if you prefer. This calculator uses the term foot-pounds for stored energy, kinetic energy, and wasted energy. Both Death by Bunjie and myself have discussed how to calculate kinetic energy in multiple videos. The formula for kinetic energy is 1/2 mv squared. A foot-pound is the amount of work done to move 1 pound 1 foot. This calculator will require you to enter 4 values: arrow speed in feet per second, total arrow weight in grains, power stroke in inches, and draw weight in pounds. The results of this calculator are the stored energy. This is the result of multiplying the draw weight by the power stroke in feet. We're doing the conversion for you. Kinetic energy of the launched arrow momentum of the launched arrow, the wasted energy, that's the difference between the stored energy and the kinetic energy, and the efficiency percentage, this is the amount of stored energy that is transferred to the arrow. The higher the efficiency, the better. There are multiple advantages for having a higher efficiency. With a higher efficiency, the less stored energy the bow has to absorb. The first thing you may notice is a lower noise level and less vibration. Furthermore, less stored energy that's being absorbed is less stress on the bow. This calculator is loaded with Bunjie Junior specifications. How efficient is your crossbow? The third calculator in this list is our FOC calculator. There is an ongoing debate of the best way to calculate FOC, and I'm not going to get into that debate here. That's beyond the scope of this video. I'm going to talk about how I calculate FOC, and for the most part appears to be the most common way online. I'm not saying this method is correct or the best way, and I'm not saying the others are wrong. With this method, you measure from the insert to the nock where the string will touch the nock when the arrow is loaded. With your field point or your broadhead installed, you find the balance point and then measure from that distance back to the same location on the nock. You enter the value for L, the overall length, and you enter the value for B, the balance point, and calculate. Now, unfortunately, it has to be in a decimal equivalent at this point, so you can't type in 21 1/8. It has to be 21.125. One of the alternate ways of doing this is to measure the length of the arrow, including the tip, to the very end of the nock. That would be your L measurement. You measure from the balance point to the end of the nock. That's your B measurement. Below the results is an area of FOC classes based on Dr. Ashby's studies. I hope you found this video informative. I realize that these three calculators are not that difficult to use. But hang on, for the next few videos, you've got to get interesting. Thank you for watching this Old Grumpy Hunter presentation. Please give it a big thumbs up. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel and don't forget to push the notification bell.